Good morning, everybody. All right. Let's see. Today's Friday. We're coming to the end of our trading session. Okay. Some things that we want to look at before going into today. All right. Typically, as we've seen the pattern on Fridays go green. All right. But the way that the market is starting to shape out, I think we're gonna start transitioning back into Fridays being red. All right. Last week being a very, very, very clear starter for that. Broke the pattern for the first time. Now, it happened once. Um, Lands on red every now and then, but lately we've been landing on black, aka green. All right. So I don't want to say we have to entertain that possibility, but given with actual specific data that made us red for the first time in a long time. Okay. So, with that being said, data playing such a huge and important factor, and as well as everything that's going on in Iran, that's something that we got to take into consideration. And today's data for today is non farm payrolls. All right. Non farm payrolls, we're about to see how employment's looking, man, and that's excluding all all farmers. All right. Sorry. Brain's foggy. Let me get a sip of this coffee, all right? Um, we'll get that data here in a couple of hours. It's up. It's early for me. We are on the Grizzy. You feel me? All right. So just taking a quick look at this chart right now. All right. We went over everything that we needed to go over these last past couple of days, and we have this possible strong level reject twice off of that. Okay. We lose this strong level overnight. All right. We did. We actually got rejected here. Okay. Um, we lost a strong level of 24,905. Now we're looking for this possible level right here where we seem to have some type of, I don't want to say resistance, but we have some type of support and resistance here. Right. Now, normally that would dictate exactly such, but there's not really any clear actual stoppage. So there is right here, there kind of is right here, but then you got these candles right here who just completely disrespect that. There's no clear stoppage. There's this candle, but and then there's these candles right here, right? So that's why I kind of have it as a possible level, just something to keep in mind. It is a different type of area. Maybe it's on a shorter time frame. Um, I don't know that. I like to stick to the 4 and the 15 minute. All right. 4 and 15 minute has been treating me well. Not gonna change it up. All right. You guys have fun on the other time frames, giving yourselves heart attacks or walking around like you have all fucking day because you're on the daily, weekly, and monthly. All right. Will I go to those? Yes, I will. All right. So a thing that's been interesting to me, all right, that a lot of us probably are not seeing, either because one, we're getting new into trading. Let me lower this a little bit. Because we're getting new into trading, or simply because we're so zoomed in on even the 4 hour time frame or the 15-minute time frame that all you see is, or these 5 minute, that all you see is, let me jump to mine though. All you see is these big candles, right? And you're like, damn, dude, this is horrible. That never concerns me. All right. That's just telling me what's happening in that day. All right. If I'm day trading, yeah, should be freaked out. All right. But if I'm not, which I'm not, that's why I just it doesn't bother me. It's not that I don't care. It just doesn't bother me. Doesn't affect me at all whatsoever. Okay. I look on that 4 hour time frame and I zoom out. All right. And I like to see what exactly this chart is showing me. Because the same way that this chart looks the exact same on a 15 minute. No, not exactly. You know what I'm saying? But the the candle structures, the candle formations. You know what I'm saying? You zoom out long enough, it looks like what the 4 hour looks like as well too. Y'all get what I'm saying? Okay. So when I go ahead and I zoom out and I see what candle structures are there, that tells me exactly what I'm looking for on a higher time frame, meaning down the road, down the line, what's going to happen in the future because we're looking on a higher time frame, all right? So, when I sit here and I look at the Nasdaq, does not look good. No bueno, all right? And let me show you what I am referring to here. Let's see. All right, yeah, that should be it right here. Okay. Here we have this bearish triangle, rectangle forming right now. Okay. Um, any bearish chart, all right. I'm having this up so that way you guys could see exactly what I see when I look at this. Okay. And that's why when I say chart don't look good, this is what I'm seeing inside my head. All right. I'm seeing patterns all day. All right. We have an inverted flag here, but this is the one that we need to pay attention to here. Okay. Oh God. Just made my life difficult, didn't you? Right here. All right. So this is what I'm seeing right here. All right. We're seeing this drop. We bounce up, drop down, bounce up, drop down. Second that we lose this bottom line, which I'll show you exactly where we're at, we're gonna continue seeing some more down, some continuation to the downside. All right. So go ahead, screenshot that, do whatever it is that you got to do. Keep that inside your books. All right. Now, when we jump back to TradingView, okay, um, this is gonna show us. I'll show you exactly what we're looking at here. Okay. We'll go ahead and we'll draw that out. Okay. We get that initial drop. Okay. Here's that top level that we were referring to, where it bounces off once, bounces off twice. That lower level, where we bounce off once, we bounce off twice. Now we're waiting for this red candle. Let me make this one red, right? This red candles to pretty much calm down, break down. And the second that we lose this candle or this level, this lower level, boom. We're headed more to the downside. All right. Has the actual formation even formed yet? No. Okay. It has not formed yet. So we can't say that this is what's going to happen, but this is what I see forming right now. All right. This helps me gauge the market a little bit better. All right. So when we start losing certain levels, certain areas, I know that we're pretty much looking for these guys right here. All right. Or if we break out, I know that I can look towards this area right here. Sorry, I might be work. Let me see. Let's do this price level, right? The minute. Ooh, 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 ooh. Perfect. Dude, get out of my way. All right. Okay. So we have. Oh wait, let me do the bottom one as well too. Okay. Beautiful. All right. So we have a clear area here that we're looking at. All right. Um. So we have first area, second area, first area of support, second area of support. All right. Two areas of resistance, two areas of support. Now, all we need to do is just, whoops, all right. Break down below, shoot up, retest, aiming for this lower level of 24. We lose 24 into 23, folks. This is no bueno. All right. It is a possibility that we can always do this. All right. Do not sit there and think that, nah, they're not going to let it do this. Nah, they're going to let it do it. No, because you know why? That's when you have to sit there and think. That's what they want you to think. All right. If there's any way that they can hit a lick and come up on you, steal everyone's money, they're thinking like the poor. All right. You have to start thinking like the rich. And now you have to kind of start thinking like the poor as well, too. All right. Poor meaning if you don't own billions of dollars or hundreds of millions or even tens of millions, you're poor to them. All right. Don't care what you say. So they start thinking they really think that we're doing this. Okay, let's show them. Boom. Okay. So we have this formation resistance one, resistance two, support one, support two. Okay. If we lose this lower level, shoot back up, retest, boom, down to the downside. All right. And for those of y'all that need that quick reminder again, boom, here it is. Okay. So we shoot once up to the top, shoot down low, second support, shoot up once, shoot down below, hit that retest. Okay. Um, Hit that retest right here. Shoot down below, shoot up. Boom. Simple as that. All right. This is forming nicely. All right. This is what I see on the 4 hours. So just your keep keep your attention on that. All right. So Nasdaq right now, that's what I'm seeing. Um Overall though, today we're pretty much looking for, I mean, like I said, we got data in a few hours. We're looking for more pullback to the downside, where it just lost that 24,905. Okay. That's coming down to this 24,754 level. We lose that. We'll be getting, that's when we'll begin looking for 24,407. All right. Data comes in bad. There is no reason why they would even hold this up. All right. It's Friday, and that's what I'm saying. Last week might have been the beginning of that switch to where Fridays will now become red again. All right. So, I'm not saying that it will. I'm saying that we have to entertain the fact that that's a possibility. If it goes green, then I'll tell you what right now. All right. We gain support. Data comes in bad and we still move, or data comes in good and we move. We'll mount this 24,905 level that we have over here to the right hand side. Begin shooting up to this 25,193 level. And that's exactly where the 200 SMA is at 25,222. All right. So let me see real quick. Oh, awesome. All right. We have a lot of time to continue this video. All right. So let's see. Qs popped up to, did not drop back down to 604. All right. If y'all took the Q puts that I called out, paid beautifully. All right. Whether you took it in the morning, still walked away with the bag. If you were savage and held it overnight, money. Ended up at 604 yesterday. You definitely walked away with the bag, with 606 being the break even. All right. So well above and beyond that. All right. Let's see. AVGO. What do we do? All right. AVGO struggling to stay above the 50 SMA. All right. That's a bit concerning. We have the 50 SMA gonna meet with the 200 day. Everything is kind of, we just had a death cross right here. All right. That's when the 50 SMA crosses over the 200 SMA. Okay. That comes down. We hit that death cross, struggling to get above it. All right. Struggling to keep their head above water. All right. We cannot seem to get our head above water. Right now, it looks like we are drowning in it. All right. So just be mindful of that. All right. NVIDIA still, we got bought up, but we dropped down to 181. Like I said, let's see what non-farm payrolls gives us. Amazon making a nice recovery here. We got another gap up here to the top, so that's probably something that you do want to pay attention to. For those of y'all that like to trade Amazon, I've traded Amazon a few times, but I mean, it's just not my cup of tea, dog. Not my cup of tea. Don't like the way it moves. It takes forever to move. It's really slow, and it's like watching dry paint or wallpaper dry or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like watching paint dry. All right. Not my thing. All right. I pretty much stopped trading Amazon a while ago. All right. But either way, for those of y'all that do trade it, I mean, this is looking good to the outside. Pretty much filling up this gap right here that we have set. Let me go ahead and make that other gap right there. All right. Anytime you see these yellow squares on my chart, these are gaps that need to be filled. All right. There's a lot of the liquidity inside there, right? Needs to be tested. So looks good. We can get above that. We can break out. We'll start looking to the second gap area. All right. So something to keep in mind. Let's see. The VIX is rising, folks. All right. You see how we shoot up, right? Let's start back here, right? We make these small incremental moves. Okay. We slowly drop and we pop. We go a little bit lower. We shoot higher. We fall back down to that level, right? We pop up, pop back down to the level. Pop up. Now we go even higher than our previous high. Okay. Drop back low, but our low doesn't come as low as we've previously gone before. Pop back up to that height. Consolidate here for a little bit lower or for a little bit higher. Doesn't go lower than our previous low. Now we shot up higher and did not come down lower than our previous low. Will we shoot higher? It is definitely a possibility, okay? In other words, this thing is building up right now, all right? There's so much pressure being built up right now. So that's something that y'all want to take into consideration. This is pretty much no bueno, as you could see what happens every single time we get to this area, all right? Like I said, I've been screaming at the top of my lungs, dear God, please, everyone, you just be careful getting into any calls at all right? So data comes in bad. We could see this thing skyrocket. I don't want to say skyrocket, but we could definitely see it move up. We're already at 25. We should be looking. Let's name this guy Commander in Chief. Okay. Boom. 26.35. We get above 26.35. We shoot up even higher, folks. Yeah, just be mindful of that, especially since data is coming in. Okay. Haven't touched this. That's why I haven't extended or anything. I'll probably do it on another video. Okay. But as of right now, VIX not looking good. No bueno. Okay. Coin popped up. And we got US oil still on the rise. I made a separate video about this. If y'all did not see it, go check it out. All right. It's episode 32. So that's something that you really do want to keep your attention on. All right. Oil is rising and it is rising fast, my guy. Not ideally what you want to see. Okay. Anytime oil rises, should we talk about inflation? Should we talk about how this is going to affect us? Yes. All right. But I already did. So go look at the video. Stop being lazy. I'm doing all the work for you. Let's just watch a video. That's it. It's like 10 minutes long, something like that. All right. So go watch that video. But to wrap it up, I mean, as long as this keeps rising, I'm gonna remain bearish. All right. The VIX is rising. That's a bearish sign. Data's coming in bad. That's a bearish sign. I don't know why everyone's just thinking that the market's gonna turn around, do some crazy stuff, and you know, just not fall because Trump says he's not gonna let it fall. Look, Trump's done a lot of things, and he's done a lot of things that he said he was going to do. All right. There's just some things that you just cannot fight. All right. So just be on the lookout for that, okay? Let's see. What else? Let me see. Let's go look at Google. All right. You know what? Before we do that, let's see how this exchange rate is playing out. Okay, this is rising. So, kind of, yeah. This is very concerning right here, right? Yeah. So exchange rate. Oh, speaking of Japan, thank you. Boom. I'm glad I got to this. All right. So let's see what happens. All right. This is gonna get interesting when it comes to Japan. All right. Now, when it comes to Japan and their exchange rate, all right, anytime they pretty much I've gone over this plenty of times in my past videos. So if you guys want to go find those, just look up the title for Japan, and the exchange rate. Um, anyways, when the exchange rate rises, the yen begins to deteriorate. All right. It starts to lose its value. Okay. So can't have that. It's not that's not good. All right. Then when they need to strengthen the yen, because it's good in certain cases, but you have to at least give it its strength back, all right? Or she loses completely value because then there's no value left in that currency, right? So when you go ahead and when you start buying your own currency back, then you start selling off you start pulling money from somewhere, all right? And a lot of the time, it's from the market, okay? So that's why we get these big pullbacks. They're pulling their money back from they're they're dumping money from U.S. assets so that way they could buy, or not U.S. assets, but they're dumping money, all right? So that way they can go ahead and buy the yen back. I'm sorry, had a brain fog here. Um, buy the yen back, and so when we see this come down, that means that the yen is getting stronger. Okay, because this is the U.S. dollar Japanese exchange rate. All right, the amount it costs to exchange U.S. dollars into yen. Okay, or vice versa. Okay, so this is a good gauge to pretty much see what Japan is doing. Okay, we don't know exactly where they're selling or where they're getting the money to go ahead and buy the yen back, but good speculation is that every now and then it's in the stock market. So when you start seeing sharp shutoffs like that, it could be the market, it could be them selling their own properties, getting selling it in different countries, different markets. I mean, who really knows, you know? But either way, okay. So with that being said, we have Japan considers releasing national oil stockpile. Oil on the rise. How much oil do they have? Is it enough? And they're pulling it out of their stockpile. Like, could that be bad for them in the future? Could just be kicking the can down the road. All right, that's delaying the inevitable. Okay, but nonetheless, this is a possibility that could keep the market up. Okay, now let's. I want everyone to focus on stuff like this. Okay, don't buy into a lot of hype. Okay, when it comes down to stuff like this, you have to look at words like considers. Okay, US and Iran, they're in negotiations. Trump says things are looking bright. Okay? All this, don't care. Unless I get it written in paper, unless I got it written like on signing, this has been declared. This is now, we are now at peace. We're not talking about peace because I don't like to do a lot of talking. If there's anything about me, all right, I like to do a lot of talking when it comes to the podcast. All right. But when it comes to things that I say, I don't like to sit here and say, this is what I'm going to do. Okay. I'm not going to say, hey, you want me to go? You want me to go and do that? I just come back and say, I got it done. Simple as that. Okay. So if you're like me, raised around my brothers, I never heard them talk much, if anything at all, before they fought. They just started swinging. All right. Those are my brothers. That's how they are. That's why anybody who's yapping off at the jaw before they go fight, you ain't gonna do nothing, big dog. Because if you wanted to fight, you would have just started throwing them hands. All right. I've seen it. I've seen it. Trust me. You're not him, pal. You're not him. All right. So I don't like this. Okay. Considers. All right. I bet you if they do move the market up, watch them turn back on that statement and decided it wasn't a good decision for whatever the reason. This is, that, and the third, and watch everyone get all mad. Oh, well, see, this is what they do. Oh, they be lying to us. Oh, it's why are you so gullible? Why are you so gullible? Are you a child? Let's be real. It said considers. Okay, so these are just things. These are things that I want y'all to just be mindful of. Okay, so as we move toward into our day, I got to start wrapping things up because I got to go into work. As y'all can see, the light behind me is starting to shine. All right. I'm nocturnal, dog. All right. I like nighttime. But trading session's about to start. Data's going to get dropped. Big dog, got to go into work, get that bread. All right. It's pretty much all that I have for y'all here today. Okay, so if y'all have any questions, anything like that, don't be afraid to either one, shoot them in the Discord, or two, call me, shoot me a text. I'll get back to y'all the second that I can. For those of y'all that are new, go navigate the Discord. We got a lot of new members inside here, giving y'all updates, everything that y'all possibly need. But for the most part, new videos, channel 404, key market updates. This is where I'm going to be updating y'all on the market. Okay, so I'll update y'all before I get here into work. And yeah, man, let's have a good day. Today's Friday. Be careful. Be mindful. Not to mention, not to forget, but we got CPI. We got PP. Is that PPI? PPI next week. All right, CPI and PPI next week, and we got triple witching days on the 20th. All right, let's go ahead and be mindful of that. All right, be a really great month to just make everything turn red. And right now, everything is really on the brink of going red. All right. So that's it. That's all. Y'all have a good day at work. Y'all have any questions, like I said, shoot them inside the DMs. All right. Wake your punk ass up. Let's go, boy. Go get to work. Let's go get this money on.